This year's budget is set at a time where significant uncertainty remains over the level and duration of support needed for many parts of our economy. On a positive note, Exchequer receipts have been holding up relatively well. And while total tax receipts to September are down 3%, or 1.2 billion compared with last year, they are over 21%, or 7 billion ahead of expected receipts. The next few months are, however, big tax payment months, so it'll be very interesting to see whether the relatively strong performance seen up until now continues. To date, corporation tax has been remarkably resilient, reflecting the concentration of multinationals trading in the ICT, manufacturing and financial services sectors, all sectors that have performed relatively well through the pandemic. Corporation tax to date is almost 30%, or 1.6 billion ahead of last year, highlighting the importance of the sector to our economy. Foreign multinationals account for over 3/4 of corporation tax payments. These companies are also responsible for 27% of all employments and account for 44% of all employment taxes, reflecting higher average salaries paid. And notwithstanding the shutdown of parts of the economy, income tax receipts to date are almost in line with last year, again reflecting the resilience of the multinational sector and its outsized contribution. It is therefore crucial that Ireland remains attractive to multinationals. And while we are not expecting much in the budget for corporates, it is very welcome that Ireland will likely defer until 2022 the implementation of the interest limitation rules, an output from the OECD BEPS 1.0 work. The OECD work on BEPS 2.0, which considers how taxing rights on multinationals should be allocated across countries and at what rate, continues. This work clearly could have a very significant medium to long-term impact on our economy, and it is important that Ireland continues to reflect the perspectives of smaller nations into these conversations. It is planned to have some recommendations emerging on this before the end of the year, and how the EU will implement the recommendations and whether it seeks additional measures also remains an important consideration for Ireland. So while we need to focus on navigating the immediate challenges of the pandemic, and the budget will be framed around that objective, continued attention needs to be paid to the OECD's work on BEPS 2.0 and keeping Ireland attractive for investment.